Hello, this is Colin. Today I'm just going to be watching a movie. Let's see what movie. I'm just going to randomly select a movie. Ew. Should I put myself through this for you guys? Yes, I will. The worst movie ever. Again. Okay, so guys, this is like, I don't know. This is worse than being tortured to death. This is the worst movie ever. It has terrible animation. And Thomas is a psychopath in this movie. And basically, he bosses everyone around, and everyone teaches him. Everyone treats him like a king, even though he bosses everyone around, and everyone does what he says, and it always ends up in trouble. So first of all, there's some Joby wood. What even is that? It's a special wood they're going to use to build a rescue center. And the most useful engine is going to get to pull the Joby wood to the rescue center. But there's water by the rescue center. Why didn't they just have the boat bring the Joby wood to the rescue center? And why can't he just choose a random engine? Then Diesel wants to take it, and he takes it without asking, and then he, for some reason, goes on. Then Thomas finds out. He chases Diesel, and Diesel goes down a track that he should have known wasn't safe. It goes to a broken bridge. He goes on the bridge, or the bridge wasn't built yet, so he goes on the bridge. And basically, he's about to fall off the bridge. All the Joby wood falls into the river. And Diesel is about to when Thomas saves him. And then Thomas has to go to the mainland to pick up more Joby wood. But when he's on his way to the why would Thomas need to go pick it up? Why couldn't they just have it so when it arrived on Sodor, they just drop it off, and Thomas brings it to the search and rescue center. Why? So anyway, for some reason, Spencer needs to get on the boat to the mainland that Thomas was going to go on. And why didn't they make a reservation? So then there's this weird old raft floating behind. It's clearly not safe. But Thomas says, "Oh, I make good decisions. That's what I was told." And then he keeps saying that through the whole entire movie. "Oh, I make good decisions. That's what I was told. I will not be fearful. I'll be brave and bold." Oh yeah, Zach and Tosh, I'm kind of stealing this from you. Subscribe to Zach and Tosh. It's more like I make good decisions. That's what I was told. I won't chicken out. I'll be repetitive and old. More like that. Or I'll be repetitive and old. More like that part. They made a parody of this movie, so I'm just taking that from the parody. And I hope it's okay. Please don't copyright me. So anyway, so he goes. The raft obviously breaks, and then he says another rhyme that's still used to this day. Fizzling fireboxes. That I can give a pass on. I even used to say that as a kid. But I make good decisions. That's what I was told. I will not be fearful. I'll be brave and bold. I'll be repetitive and old. I would not say that. Oh my God. So moving on. So there was basically when basically he somehow landed on an island, and it somehow connected to tracks. So he somehow dodged the gap and got onto new tracks on Misty Island. Ooh. And then he met Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand. Ferdinand could have saved this movie. He could have saved it if he said some other words, and he didn't just say, "That's right." Literally, the only line, technically, the only two lines, or he says "that's right," I think 14 times in this movie. I think that's what it was. And he says, "and Ferdinand." When he says, when Bash goes, "I'm Bash," then Dash goes, "I'm Dash," and then Ferdinand goes, "and I'm Ferdinand." And basically, it's just so weird. They go around, they threaten to hurl Thomas into a river. They go over this stupid bridge. They almost medieval torture Thomas. They want their weird crane to pick him up and hurl him into a river. Then there's nothing to save this movie at this point. So either way, if you made it through that and survived, then the whole time there was a tunnel going back to Sodor, but it was very dangerous. But Thomas said, "We have to go through. I make good decisions. That's what I was told. I will not be fearful. I'll be brave and bold." So then he just goes right through, and then they get trapped, because rocks fall behind them, rocks fall in front of them, so they can't get to Sodor, and they're stuck in the tunnel. Then they all run out of fuel, and Thomas is the only one with coal left. But then, if anything could get more convenient, I just have a line for you. Thomas has been gone for so long, and Percy, back on Sodor, he says, "Oh, Thomas is gone." And he's been gone for so long, it's so obvious. And then Whiff, this weird engine named Whiff, comes up with the idea, why would he even be named Whiff? So he comes up with the idea to go through this old garbage tunnel, and it might lead them to Thomas. Oh, what are the chances of that? So they go through the old garbage tunnel with Whiff and Percy, and then they search through the tunnel, and then they make it to him somehow. Then they all together bash through, and then they make it through, go back to Sodor. But meanwhile, they suspect he's on Misty Island, so if their plan didn't work, Sir Topham Hatt, James and Gordon and Henry, I think it's James, Gordon, and Henry. It's either Edward, James, and Gordon. I think it's Edward, James, and Gordon. Let me check. So get away from that subject for a second while I was watching it back, which I put my through some torture again. I can't believe how I survived this. But, so basically, the mist conveniently lifts while Percy, Salty, and Cranky are looking away at Misty Island or a landform, and then the mist just lifts conveniently while they're looking at it, and then Thomas on Misty Island, he makes 3 puffs of smoke, and then somehow they see the puffs of smoke that he puffed up all the way from Sodor. Wait, okay. Let's say that over there is Misty Island. In that tree, that red tree over there, that's Misty. Or I may have said Misty Island twice. One is Sodor, one is Misty Island. So, if I stood over there, how could I see smoke signals from over there? Though I actually might. Let me put this into perspective for you. About, I don't know, cramp, 2 or 3 kilometers away. And I'm not sure how many miles that translates to, but that's my estimate. I'm using kilometers in this situation. So, yeah, it would be a long way away. And how does a tunnel go under all that water? Wait a second. How does a tunnel go under all that water and have a hole in it and the water not seep through and drown them? How is that possible? Oh my God. It was Edward James and Gordon. So it wasn't Henry. Probably Henry wasn't that. Well, now Henry is. So whatever. So basically, I give this movie 0. 0. Do you see 0 out of 10? 0. This movie is torture. The worst Thomas special ever.